So something that has been really difficult for me is that I allowed myself to lose myself in my journey with my chronic illness. Um, when I first got diagnosed, I thought it wasn't a big deal, honestly. I wasn't in a huge flare. I really didn't think much of it. And then as I started getting sicker and sicker, my life became consumed by my illness. And slowly everything that I loved was taken away from me. Um, Not because I could do it and just chose not to do it. I literally couldn't do it. Like when I went on TPN, I had a PICC line, and when you have a PICC line, you can't really run because you can't do that continuous arm motion with running because you just can't with a PICC line. I don't even know the reason. I just was told that I couldn't. Then I was told I couldn't do yoga because I couldn't put pressure on that arm. So I stopped being able to run. I stopped being able to do yoga. I continued to work my business with my husband. And then as things progressed, I started getting really sick every day to the point that I would lay on the floor crying from debilitating nausea that would not go away despite taking IV anti-nausea medications, being on multiple oral medications for nausea. Just nothing would work. And slowly I started a cycle of going in and out of the hospital, and I stopped working the business with my husband because I was just becoming so disconnected from what was going on in business that I wasn't able to do it. I had gotten my certification for domestic violence to volunteer with the local domestic violence shelter, and I wasn't able to do that. And slowly everything that I loved was no longer an option. And my day-to-day life was wrapped up in being sick. And I didn't even realize how much I had lost. Like, I knew I had lost the stuff, but I was so sick, I guess I didn't care. And then when I'd had moments where things like improved, like I didn't go out and pursue doing anything. I didn't find purpose again just because I felt that it was pointless, because when was the next hospitalization? When was the next time I was going to be in a flare? What was the point? And I realize now that I'm going to have good days and I'm going to have bad days, and I can't let my chronic illness take over my life. Because if I let my chronic illness take over my life and I lose all purpose like I did for those few years, that you get really depressed and you get really sad and you feel like there's no point in living. And that's the point I got to. It wasn't until I started being like, what can I do? And for me, it was going to school because I could take classes online, which meant if I was in the hospital, I could still do school. If I wasn't feeling well, I didn't have to take class that day. I could do my work the next day. And then it was starting my blog, and I love writing, so I started doing writing. I love doing that. Then it was trying to raise awareness by doing TikTok videos. I don't have any followers, so people don't really follow me. Not really raising much awareness, but I try. But I'm just saying, if you have a chronic illness, don't be like me. Don't lose yourself in your chronic illness for a few years and lose all purpose in life, because it becomes really debilitating and it becomes really sad and all-consuming. And in my opinion, I think I made things worse for myself because I didn't have any purpose in life. And when I started to find purpose again, I started to feel a little bit more alive. And even though I still don't feel well some days, like yesterday I was in the emergency room, doctor wanted to admit me, I refused admission. I at least now feel like I have purpose in my life, that I have things that I wake up and that I can do. If I'm up for it, I take a walk each day, and I love taking my walks because there's usually other people out walking, and they usually say hi, good morning, and it's just that little quick social interaction that makes me feel a little less alone. So like I'm saying, just don't lose yourself to your chronic illness. Find something to give you purpose outside of the fact that you're dealing with being sick a lot. Even if it's just something small, just something that makes you want to wake up each day and you look forward to doing it. Because living with a chronic illness is hard enough, and it's even more difficult when you don't have purpose in each day.